I am is the self-definition of the absolute. The absolute is self-defined as God. The foundation of everything in existence is this magnificent awareness, the awareness of being aware, the great I am. This I am is your true identity. The secret to manifestation resides not outside of you, not in rituals or complicated techniques, but in the proper understanding and application of this fundamental truth, I am. When Moses asked for the identity of the voice speaking to him from the burning bush, the answer came forth, I am that I am. This was not a name as we understand names, but a declaration of pure existence, pure consciousness. It is the foundation of all being, and it is not something separate from you. It is you in your purest form. Tonight, I will reveal to you how to use this divine principle of I am to manifest anything you desire in your life. The technique is simple in its explanation, but profound in its application. The entire secret can be summed up thus: whatever you attach to I am, you become. Whatever follows the words I am shapes your consciousness, and your consciousness shapes your world. Most people use their magnificent I am unknowingly and destructively. They say, I am sick, I am broke, I am confused, I am unwanted. They do not realize they are actually cementing these conditions into their experience. Your I am statements are spiritual commands to the universe. They are decrees that must be fulfilled, for the universe knows nothing but how to project outwardly what you claim inwardly. Consider the words of Scripture. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. This Word is your I am. It is the creative principle within you. When you say I am, you are announcing the presence of God in that moment, for that is His name. And whatever you attach to His name becomes a decree that must be made flesh. When you say I am wealthy, you are not simply making an affirmation or engaging in positive thinking, as modern psychology would have you believe. No, you are actually commanding wealth to manifest in your world. You are declaring a spiritual fact in consciousness, and that spiritual fact must objectify itself. This is law. It cannot fail any more than the law of gravity can fail. But here is where almost everyone makes their mistake. They say the words I am wealthy while feeling poor. They affirm I am healthy while feeling sick. They do not realize that the feeling is the secret. You must feel the reality of what you are declaring with your I am. The feeling is the true secret. Let me share a secret with you about feeling. Your consciousness consists of two aspects, the thinking and the feeling aspects. Most people emphasize thinking, reciting affirmations like parrots without the accompanying feeling. But feeling is the secret. Feeling is the prayer. Feeling is what impregnates consciousness. When you say I am, follow it with that which you want to be, and then most importantly, feel what it would be like to be that. If you say I am wealthy, feel the relief, the security, the joy, the freedom that wealth would bring. Feel it so deeply that for a moment you completely forget your current financial situation. In that moment of complete absorption in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, your I am, which is God Himself, has accepted your decree. And what God has accepted as true must manifest in your world. This is not theory, this is law. Now, let me show you exactly how to practice this principle. First, know precisely what you want. Be specific. If you want wealth, define what wealth means to you. Is it a specific sum of money, a certain lifestyle, freedom from financial worry, the exact thing your desire? Second, close your eyes and relax your body completely. Feel yourself floating, suspended in space. Feel the heaviness leave your limbs. Breathe deeply and know that you are about to contact the depths of your own being, the I am. Third, when you are completely relaxed, declare silently or aloud, I am. Feel the power of those words. Feel the absolute reality of your existence. I am. Not I will be or I hope to be, but I am, here and now. Fourth, having established this awareness of I am, complete the statement with your desire, but speak of it as already accomplished. If health is your desire, say, I am vibrantly healthy. If it is wealth, say, I am abundantly wealthy. If it is love, say, I am deeply loved. Fifth, and this is the crucial step, feel what you would feel if your desire were already a fact. Feel the relief, the happiness, the sense of accomplishment. Feel the gratitude for having received what you desire. Make it so real that for a moment you completely forget your current circumstances. 6. Carry this feeling with you. Fall asleep in this feeling if possible. Throughout your day, whenever you think of your desire, recapture this feeling of the wish fulfilled. Do not look for signs or manifestations. Simply know that what you have decreed with feeling in consciousness must come to pass. This is the perfect prayer. This is a true application of the I am principle. This is how you command the God within you to bring forth your good. Many of you are wondering, how long will it take for my desire to manifest? I cannot tell you exactly when, but I can tell you this: the intensity of your feeling determines the velocity of its manifestation. If your feeling is deep and unwavering, your manifestation will come quickly. If your feeling is shallow and riddled with doubt, it may take longer. But make no mistake about this: once you have truly felt the reality of your desire in the consciousness of I am, it must manifest. This is law. Your outer world is nothing more than the objectification of your inner assumptions. Change the inner, and the outer must follow suit. Let me illustrate this principle with a story from my own experience. Many years ago, I desired to travel to Barbados, but I had no money for such a journey. Instead of focusing on my lack, I applied this principle. Each night before sleep, I would imagine that I was in Barbados. I would feel the tropical breeze on my skin. I would smell the salt air. I would feel the sand between my toes. Most importantly, I would feel the satisfaction of being there. I did not petition some far-off deity. I did not beg or plead. I simply revised my sense of self. Instead of maintaining the consciousness of being in New York and wanting to go to Barbados, I assumed the consciousness of already being in Barbados. I lived from that state. Within a matter of weeks, a series of unexpected events led to my receiving both the funds and the opportunity to make the journey. The outer circumstances rearranged themselves to conform to my inner assumption. This is how the law works. This is the power of the I am. But perhaps you're thinking, Neville, this sounds too simple. Surely manifesting my desires can be as straightforward as feeling that I already have them. Let me assure you that the greatest truths are always the simplest. Complexity is the enemy of truth. Consider the teachings of all the great spiritual leaders throughout history. Jesus did not give complicated techniques for manifesting loaves and fishes or healing the sick. He simply knew the truth of I am and operated from that awareness. When he declared I am the resurrection and the life, he was not speaking of his personal self, but of the divine I am that is the core identity of all beings. Now let us explore some of the common obstacles that prevent people from successfully using this I am technique. The first and greatest obstacle is the habit of negative self-talk. Most people have developed deeply ingrained habits of saying things like, I am tired, I am broke, I am unlucky, I am not good enough. Every time you make such statements, you are using the creative power of I am against yourself. Remember, I am is God's name. It is the creative principle. Whatever follows those two words becomes a command to the subconscious mind and must be expressed in your experience. From this moment forward, place a guard at the door of your mind. Monitor what you attach to I am. Speak only of what you wish to experience. If you catch yourself saying, I am sick, immediately revise it. Say instead, I have been feeling some physical discomfort, but I am perfectly healthy. Notice how the first statement acknowledges the temporary experience without attaching it to your I am identity. The second obstacle is lack of persistence. Many attempt this technique for a day or two and give up when they don't see immediate results. Remember that your physical reality is the manifestation of past thoughts and feelings. There may be a time lag between your change of consciousness and its manifestation in the physical world. The solution is to persist. Continue to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, regardless of appearances. Remember the words of Scripture, the vision has its own appointed hour. It ripens, it will flower. If it seems slow, wait, for it is sure and will not be late. The third obstacle is divided attention. Many affirm one thing while fearing the opposite. They say, I am wealthy, but then worry about their bills. They declare I am healthy, but then dwell on symptoms. The solution is to give your attention completely to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. When doubts or contrary thoughts arise, do not fight them or resist them. Simply turn your attention again to the feeling of already having what you desire. What you focus on expands. Focus on the solution, not the problem. The fourth obstacle is attempting to dictate the how. Many people try to figure out exactly how their desire will manifest. This is a mistake. Your job is to define the what and to feel the reality of already having it. The how is the domain of infinite intelligence, which far exceeds your conscious reasoning. When you plant a seed in the ground, you don't dig it up every day to see how it's doing. You water it and trust the process of nature. Similarly, once you have planted the seed of your desire in the fertile soil of the I am consciousness, allow the infinite intelligence to bring it to fruition in its own perfect way. Now let me share with you some advanced applications of this I am principle. So far we have discussed using I am to manifest specific desires. But the ultimate use of I am is to realize your divine nature. When you say I am without attaching anything to it, just pure I am, you are experiencing your divine essence. This is the meditation of the masters. Sit quietly and simply feel I am. Not I am this or I am that. Just I am. In this pure awareness, you touch the face of God. From this elevated state of consciousness, your manifesting power is at its peak. Having touched the pure I am, when you then turn your attention to a desire, it manifests with remarkable speed because there is less resistance, less contradiction in your consciousness. Another advanced application is what I call revision. Perhaps you have had experiences in your past that were painful or limiting. You can actually go back and revise those experiences using the I am principle. Close your eyes and recall the scene. But instead of reliving it as it occurred, revise it. See it playing out differently, in a way that is beneficial and joyful. Feel the reality of this new version. Your subconscious mind does not know the difference between an actual event and one that is vividly imagined. By revising the past, you change the trajectory of your future. For instance, if you were rejected for a job in the past, revise the scene. See yourself being congratulated, receiving the offer, feeling the joy of acceptance. Feel it so deeply that this revised version replaces the original memory in your emotional body. This is not denial. This is the higher truth that imagination creates reality. Now, some of you may be wondering about the morality of using the I am principle to manifest material desires. Is it spiritual to want a new home, a better job, more money? The answer is unequivocally yes, provided that your desires are for the purpose of more abundant living and sharing. There is no virtue in poverty or lack. The idea that spirituality requires material sacrifice is a misinterpretation of the great teachings. Jesus did not say, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God, as a condemnation of wealth. He was speaking of the consciousness of wealth, the attachment, and identification with material possessions. When you use the I am principle, as I am teaching it tonight, you are not seeking possessions because you think they will make you happy. You are acknowledging that you already are happiness itself. You already are abundance itself. You already are itself. And the material manifestations are simply the natural, true wealth, true health, true love. These are expressions of your divine nature. By manifesting them, you are not becoming more spiritual. You are expressing the spirituality that is already yours. Let us now turn to another aspect of the I am principle, its relationship to other people. Many ask me, Neville, can I use the I am technique to change another person's behavior or to make someone love me? This question reveals a misunderstanding of both the law and love. You cannot change another directly, but you can change your conception of that other, and that changed conception will be reflected in their behavior toward you. Everyone in your world is a reflection of an aspect of your consciousness. Change your consciousness, and you change the reflection. If you want someone to treat you with respect, do not try to change them. Instead, establish the consciousness of being respected. Feel what it would feel like to be respected by this person. Declare, I am respected and appreciated. Live from that consciousness, and you will find this person's behavior changing, not because you manipulated them, but because you changed the only thing you can ever change yourself. The same principle applies to manifesting a specific relationship. You cannot force another to love you, but you can manifest a loving relationship by establishing the consciousness of being loved. Feel the joy of being in a loving relationship. Feel the gratitude, the appreciation, the deep connection. Live from the state of I am love, and the right person will appear in your life, either the one you have in mind. If that is in alignment with the highest good, or someone even better suited to the consciousness you have established. Remember, the I am technique is not about control, it is about alignment. You are aligning your consciousness with what you wish to experience, and allowing the infinite intelligence to bring it about in the most beneficial way for all concerned. Now, I want to address a common concern. Many people ask, what if I have multiple desires? Should I focus on one at a time, or can I manifest several things simultaneously? You can certainly work on multiple desires, but I recommend this approach. During your dedicated I am sessions, focus on one primary desire at a time. Give it your full attention and feeling. However, you can establish a general consciousness of abundance that encompasses all areas of your life. For example, you might declare and feel, I am living my perfect life now. In this declaration, you are encompassing health, wealth, love, and purpose. You are not specifying the details, but you are establishing a consciousness of complete fulfillment that will manifest in all areas. For specific desires, however, it is most effective to focus on one at a time during your dedicated practice sessions. This allows you to generate the depth of feeling necessary for rapid manifestation. Another question I often hear is, what if I'm not sure exactly what I want? I just know I want to be happier. This is actually an ideal starting point. Begin with the declaration, I am happiness. Feel the reality of being completely happy without attaching it to any external condition. As you establish this consciousness of happiness, you will find yourself naturally drawn to the people, circumstances, and activities that support and enhance this state. The same applies to any general state you wish to experience: abundance, health, love, peace, success. Begin by establishing the consciousness of already being that, and the specific manifestations will follow naturally. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. You don't need to remove the darkness piece by piece. You simply introduce light, and the darkness vanishes. Let me now share with you one of the most powerful applications of the I am principle, using it to discover and fulfill your life's purpose. Many people struggle with a sense of meaninglessness or a feeling that they are not living the life they are meant to live. The solution is simple yet profound. Quiet your mind and ask yourself, what would I love to do if money were no object, if I had all the time in the world, if I knew I could not fail? The answer that emerges is a clue to your divine purpose. Then, using the I am principle, establish the consciousness of already fulfilling this purpose. If your heart's desire is to be a successful author, declare and feel, I am a successful author, touching lives with my words. Feel the satisfaction of expressing your gifts. Feel the joy of making a difference. Live from this consciousness and opportunities will appear, resources will become available, and circumstances will arrange themselves to support the fulfillment of your purpose. This is because your purpose is not something you need to create or find it already exists within you as part of your divine design. You are simply using the I am to align with and express what is already there. Now I want to address what may be the most significant barrier to successful manifestation, the barrier of worthiness. Many people deep down do not feel worthy of their desires. They may consciously affirm, I am wealthy or I am loved, but subconsciously they are thinking, I don't deserve this, or this is too good for someone like me. This sense of unworthiness often stems from childhood programming or religious teachings that have equated suffering with virtue and joy with selfishness. Let me be perfectly clear. You are worthy of every good thing simply because you exist. Your worthiness is not something you need to earn or prove. It is your birthright as an expression of the divine I am. If you struggle with feelings of unworthiness, begin by establishing the consciousness of I am worthy. Feel the truth of your inherent value. Feel your right to happiness, abundance, love, and all good things. As this consciousness of worthiness takes root, you will find it much easier to manifest your specific desires because you have removed the subconscious block that was sabotaging your efforts. Remember the words of Scripture, it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. The infinite abundance of the universe is your inheritance. Claiming it is not an act of selfishness, but an acknowledgement of the truth of your being. Let us talk now about the role of action in the manifestation process. Some misunderstand the IAM technique and believe it means they should simply sit in meditation and take no action toward their goals. This is a misinterpretation. The IAM technique does not replace action, it inspires and guides right action. When you have truly established the consciousness of already having your desire, you will be moved from within to take actions that support its manifestation. These actions will not feel like struggle or sacrifice, they will feel natural and joyful. You will find yourself in the right place at the right time, saying the right words, meeting the right people, not through calculation or manipulation, but through intuitive guidance. The difference is subtle but significant. Without the IAM consciousness, your actions are an attempt to get something you feel you lack. With the IAM consciousness, your actions are an expression of what you already know you are. The first is based in lack. The second is based in abundance. The first is stressful, the second is joyful. So do not hesitate to act, but let your actions spring from the consciousness of already being and having what you desire. Act from abundance rather than from lack, from fulfillment rather than from need. Now I want to give you a specific IAM practice that you can begin using tonight to manifest your desires. This practice has 4 steps. First, just before sleep, quiet your mind and body completely. Sleep is the entrance to the subconscious, and the thoughts and feelings you take with you into sleep are particularly powerful in shaping your manifestations. Second, declare I am and feel the power and presence of this divine aspect of yourself. Feel that you are one with the creative principle of the universe. Feel your oneness with God. Third, complete the declaration with your desired state. I am wealthy. I am healthy. I am in a loving relationship, or whatever reflects your heart's desire. Speak it as an absolute fact, not as a wish or hope. Fourth, and most importantly, feel the reality of already being and having what you have declared. Feel the gratitude, the joy, the fulfillment. Feel it so deeply that for these moments, you completely forget your current circumstances. Fall asleep in this feeling. Do this every night for at least 30 days, focusing on the same desire. During the day, whenever you think of your desire, recall this feeling of the wish fulfilled. If doubts or contradictory circumstances arise, do not fight them or give them energy. Simply return to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. This practice, applied consistently with genuine feeling, must produce results. It is law. Just as the law of gravity operates without fail, so does this law of consciousness. Whatever you accept as true in consciousness, whatever you truly feel to be real, must manifest in your experience. Now, some of you may be wondering about the role of gratitude in the manifestation process. Gratitude is essential, but not in the way many teach it. You are not being grateful in order to get something in the future. You are being grateful because you recognize that you already have what you desire in consciousness. And consciousness is the only reality. When you declare, I am wealthy, and feel genuine gratitude for the wealth you possess, you are not pretending or using gratitude as a manifestation technique. You are acknowledging the truth at the spiritual level, which must then be expressed at the physical level. Gratitude is the feeling tone of having already received. It is one of the most powerful states of consciousness for rapid manifestation, because it combines both adani of having received and the joy of that reception. I encourage you to practice what I call gratitude in advance, rather than waiting until your desire physically manifests to feel grateful. Feel the gratitude now in advance of the physical manifestation. This is not pretending. This is acknowledging the truth that everything first exists in consciousness before it appears in physical form. Let me now address another important aspect of the I am principle, its role in healing. Whether you seek healing of the body, mind, emotions, or relationships, the principle remains the same. You must establish the consciousness of already being healed. If you are experiencing physical illness, do not affirm I am getting better or I am going to be healed. These statements, though positive, still place healing in the future and therefore keep it in the future. Instead, declare I am whole and perfect now. Feel the relief, the gratitude, the joy of being completely well. This may seem like denial to the rational mind that sees the physical symptom. By establishing the consciousness of perfect health, you are creating the spiritual pattern that will then be expressed physically. The same principle applies to emotional healing. If you are experiencing grief, depression, anxiety, or any other emotional distress, do not identify with it. Do not say I am depressed or I am anxious. Instead, declare I am peace, I am joy, I am emotional well-being. Feel these states as your true identity, recognizing that emotions like physical conditions are temporary states, not your eternal I am essence. For relationship healing, establish the consciousness of harmonious, loving relationships. Rather than focusing on what's wrong, feel what it would feel like if the relationship were already healed and harmonious. Live from that state, and you will be guided intuitively in your words and actions toward actual healing. Remember, in all forms of healing, you are not denying the current appearance. You are simply refusing to give it permanence in your consciousness. You are exercising your divine prerogative to choose the state of consciousness you wish to occupy, regardless of temporary appearances. Now, I want to explore with you the relationship between the I am principle and what many call the higher self or true self. Your true identity is not the limited, fearful ego self that most people think they are. Your true identity is the I am, the pure awareness that is one with God. The ego self is basically a collection of memories, habits, beliefs, and identifications that you have accumulated throughout your life. It is not who you really are. It is a mask, a persona, a character you have been playing. The awakened life begins when you recognize that you are not this limited ego self, but the unlimited I am awareness that is witnessing the ego self. When you declare I am wealth, I am health, or I am love, you are not trying to improve or enhance the ego self. You are identifying with your true self, your I am nature, which already is all these things. You are not becoming something new. You are acknowledging what you already are beneath the temporary limitations of ego consciousness. This understanding takes the I am technique out of the realm of mere positive thinking or self-improvement and places it in the realm of spiritual awakening. You are not using the I am as a tool to get something. You are recognizing the I am as your essential nature, which already encompasses all that you could ever desire. From this perspective, manifestation is not about acquiring things or experiences you don't have. It is about aligning your conscious awareness with the truth of your being, allowing the outer world to reflect your inner reality. What appears as manifestation is actually revelation, the revealing of what has always been true at the level of your I am essence. This is why Jesus said, "It is done unto you as you believe." He was not suggesting that belief creates reality in an absolute sense. He was teaching that your belief, your accepted state of consciousness, determines what aspects of reality are expressed in your personal experience. The universe is not giving you what you want. It is revealing what you are. When you declare and feel I am wealth, you are not convincing the universe to make you wealthy. You are aligning with the aspect of your true self that is already abundance itself, allowing that abundance to be expressed in your material experience. This understanding resolves the apparent paradox between desiring something and recognizing that you already have it. At the level of the ego self and physical experience, you may not yet have what you desire. But at the level of the I am, your true self, you already are everything you could ever wish to be. By using the I am technique as I have taught it tonight, you are creating a bridge between these two levels of reality. You are bringing the truth of your I am nature into expression in your everyday experience. Now, let me address a practical question that many of you are probably wondering about. How do I maintain the feeling of my wish fulfilled when my current reality shows me the opposite? This is indeed one of the greatest challenges in applying the I am principle. It requires mental discipline and a willingness to prioritize the unseen reality of consciousness over the seen reality of physical circumstances. One effective approach is to recognize that your current physical reality is nothing more than a manifestation of past thoughts and feelings. It has no power to create your future unless you give it that power by focusing on it and accepting it as permanent. When confronted with contradictory circumstances, acknowledge them without emotion. Then deliberately turn your attention to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. For example, if you are manifesting financial abundance, but receive a bill you cannot currently pay, you might say to yourself, "This bill reflects my past consciousness of limitation. It has no power over my new consciousness of abundance. I am abundance itself." Then, deliberately recall the feeling of abundant wealth. Feel the relief, the security, the freedom, the generosity that comes with abundance. Make this feeling more real to you than the temporary appearance of lack. Another approach is to use what I call spiritual sense rather than physical senses. Your physical senses show you the world of effects, what has already been created by past consciousness. Your spiritual sense imagination imbued with feeling shows you the causal realm where new effects are being created. Choose consciously which set of senses you will give authority to in determining your state of consciousness. When you consistently choose your spiritual sense over your physical senses, you accelerate the manifestation of your desires. Remember also that persistence is essential. The race is not to the swift, but to those who endure to the end. Continue to maintain the consciousness of your wish fulfilled, regardless of appearances, and you must eventually experience its manifestation in the physical world. As we begin to conclude our discussion tonight, I want to emphasize that the I am principle is not just a manifestation technique, it is the key to spiritual awakening and self-realization. When you use I am consciously and correctly, you are doing much more than improving your circumstances. You are recognizing and expressing your divine nature. The ultimate goal is not to accumulate possessions or experiences, but to awaken to the truth of who you really are, the limitless I am that is one with God. From this awakened state, manifestation happens naturally and effortlessly, because there is no contradiction between what you know yourself to be and what you experience in the world. This is the state described in Scripture as the kingdom of heaven, not a place you go to after death, but a state of consciousness in which your outer world perfectly reflects the truth of your inner being. This is truly heaven on earth. The journey begins with using the I am principle to manifest specific desires, but it culminates in the recognition that you are the I am itself, expressing in human form. This recognition is the pearl of great price, the treasure hidden in the field, the kingdom of heaven within you. As we close our discussion tonight, I invite you to begin applying the I am principle immediately. Do not wait for a more convenient time or for circumstances to improve. Begin tonight before you sleep. Declare with feeling the I am state that corresponds to your heart's desire. Feel its reality until your whole being vibrates with the certainty of it. Remember, this is not wishful thinking or positive affirmation. This is aligning with the truth of your being. This is exercising your divine prerogative as an expression of the I am. This is claiming your rightful inheritance as a child of God. The power is within you. The kingdom is within you. The I am is within you, waiting to be consciously directed toward the fulfillment of your divine destiny. Use this power wisely, lovingly, and with full awareness of its sacred nature. I leave you with these words from Scripture, which now you can understand in their true meaning. I am the way, the truth, and the life. The I am within you is the way to everything you desire. The I am within you is the truth of your divine nature. The I am within you is the life that animates all things. Recognize this truth. Live from this truth. And everything you desire must come to pass. It is law. It cannot fail. As you accept it in consciousness, so must it be in your experience. Thank you for your attention tonight. May the I am principle transform your life as it has transformed mine and countless others who have applied it with understanding and feeling. Remember, I am is the name of God. Use it with reverence, use it with feeling, and use it with the absolute certainty that what you decree with it must manifest in your experience. And now I say to each of you, I am that which I am. And so are you. Recognize it, claim it, and live in all that you desire will be added unto you. God bless you all. Worry is a state of consciousness that stems from a misunderstanding of your true nature. When you worry, you are operating from a limited, finite sense of self. You are identifying with your physical body and your personal history, forgetting the ultimate being that you truly are. But I tell you now, you are not your body. You are not your personal history. You are not even the sum of your thoughts and emotions. You are the awareness in which all these experiences arise. You are the infinite creative power of the universe, expressing itself as a human being. When you truly understand this, worry becomes impossible. For how can the infinite creative power of the universe worry about anything? How can God, which you are, be concerned about solving a problem? Let us delve deeper into this concept. The world you see around you is not the cause of your experience, but the effect. It is the outpicturing of your states of consciousness. Every circumstance in your life, every challenge you face, is a reflection of your inner world. Therefore, when you worry about a problem, you are actually giving power to that problem. You are affirming its reality in your consciousness, and thus in your experience. But when you rest in the knowledge that God, the God within you, will solve it, you are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. This is not mere positive thinking or wishful optimism. This is a fundamental law of consciousness. Just as a seed contains within it the pattern of the fully grown plant, your consciousness contains within it the solution to every problem you could ever face. When you say God will solve it, you are not advocating responsibility or passively waiting for some external force to intervene. You are declaring your alignment with the infinite intelligence within you. You are acknowledging that the power that created the universe is fully capable of handling whatever situation you are facing. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, I have real problems. How can I not worry? I understand this concern. The challenges of life can seem overwhelming when viewed from a limited perspective, but I ask you to shift your perspective. Instead of focusing on the problem, focus on the state of consciousness where the problem is already solved. This is what I mean when I say God will solve it. You are moving your attention from the problem to the solution, from the question to the answer. Imagine for a moment that your problem, whatever it may be, is already solved. How would you feel? What would your mental state be? This feeling, this state of consciousness, is the key to allowing God to solve your problem. You see, when you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, when you live from the end, you are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. You are stepping into the consciousness of the version of you for whom the problem is already solved. This is not pretense or self-deception. This is the active use of your imagination, which is God in action within you. Your imagination is not a separate part of you. It is the very essence of your being. It is the creative power through which all things are possible. When you imagine the solution, when you feel the relief and gratitude of your problem being solved, you are literally reshaping the substance of the universe. You are setting in motion the forces that will bring about the solution in your physical reality. Now let us address a common misunderstanding about this principle. Some might think that saying God will solve it means doing nothing, simply waiting for a solution to magically appear. But this is not the case at all. When you truly align yourself with the consciousness of the solution, you will be inspired to take what I call the right action. This action will not feel like struggle or effort. It will feel natural, even inevitable. You will find yourself in the right place at the right time, saying the right words, meeting the right people. This is because you are no longer operating from the limited perspective of the problem. You are operating from the expanded consciousness of the solution. Your actions are no longer driven by fear or worry, but by inspiration and inner guidance. Remember, the outer world is dead. It has no power to create or to change. All creation happens first in consciousness. Your job is not to manipulate the outer world, but to change your inner world. As you change within, the outer must conform. Let us now explore the concept of faith in relation to God will solve it. Faith is not blind belief in something outside of yourself. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It is a knowing beyond physical evidence. When you have true faith that God will solve your problem, you are not hoping for a future event. You are acknowledging a present fact. You are recognizing that in the realm of pure consciousness, where all creation takes place, your problem is already solved. This kind of faith moves mountains. It parts seas. It transforms the very fabric of your reality. For when you have absolute faith that God will solve it, you are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. You are becoming one with the solution. Now, some of you might be wondering about the role of time in this process. You might be thinking, when will God solve my problem? But I tell you now, time is an illusion of the physical world. In the realm of consciousness, where all creation takes place, there is no time. Your desire is fulfilled the moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled with conviction. The time it takes for this to appear in your physical reality is determined by your faith and your persistence in the assumed state. So do not concern yourself with when or how God will solve your problem. Your job is to assume the state of the wish fulfilled, to live from the end, to embody the consciousness of the solution. The how and when will take care of themselves. Let us now address the concept of surrender in relation to God will solve it. Surrender is not about giving up or admitting defeat. It is about releasing your attachment to how things should be and trusting in the higher intelligence of the universe. When you truly surrender your problem to God, you are not washing your hands of it. You are acknowledging that the infinite intelligence within you, which created the universe, is fully capable of handling whatever situation you are facing you. This surrender allows you to step out of the limited perspective of the problem and into the expanded consciousness of the solution. It frees you from the burden of trying to figure everything out with your finite mind, allowing the infinite intelligence of the universe to work through you. Remember, worry is a form of negative creation. When you worry, you are using to create what you do not want. But when you surrender your problem to God, saying with conviction, God will solve it, you are using your imagination constructively. You are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. Now let us explore the concept of gratitude in relation to God will solve it. Gratitude is not just a polite sentiment. It is a powerful creative force. When you are truly grateful, you are acknowledging the presence of your desire in your life. You are affirming its reality even before it manifests in the physical realm. So as you trust that God will solve your problem, cultivate a deep sense of gratitude. Be thankful not just for what you can see and touch, but for the unseen solution that is even now unfolding in your life. Give thanks for the wisdom that guides you, the love that surrounds you, and the power that resides within you. This gratitude puts you in a state of receptivity. It opens you to receive the solution that God is providing. It aligns you with the abundance of the universe. Practice gratitude not from a place of lack, hoping to receive, but from a place of fullness, knowing you already have. Let us now address the concept. Detachment might seem contradictory to what we've discussed about faith and gratitude, but it's actually complementary. Detachment doesn't mean not caring about the solution to your problem. It means releasing your anxious attachment to how or when it will manifest. When you're anxiously attached to the outcome, you're actually affirming the presence of the problem. You're saying, I need this solution because I have this problem. This state of consciousness keeps the problem alive in your experience. True detachment comes from the deep knowing that God has already solved your problem in consciousness, and therefore it must manifest in your physical reality. It's a state of calm certainty of knowing the law is at work, even when you can't see the evidence yet. This detachment allows you to truly live in the end. You're not waiting for something to happen. You're simply being who you are, a person for whom the problem is already solved. This state of being is far more powerful than any amount of doing or trying. Now let us discuss the concept of revision. Revision is a powerful tool in allowing God to solve your problems. Each night, before you sleep, review the events of your day, but do not review them as they appear to your senses. Revise them to align with the state of your problem being solved. If you encounter challenges related to your problem during the day, revise them. See them as stepping stones towards the solution. If you had negative thoughts or emotions about your problem, revise them. See yourself responding with faith and confidence, knowing that God is solving it. You are not denying what happened. You are actively reshaping your memory and thus your future. Remember, your memories are not fixed. They are fluid, constantly being reconstructed. By consciously revising your memories, you are literally rereading your past. And as you change your past in your imagination, you change the trajectory of your future. Let us now explore the concept of persistence. Trusting that God will solve your problem is not a one-time event. It is a continuous choice. You must persist in this state of faith and surrender, even when the outer world shows no sign of change. This persistence is what distinguishes those who successfully manifest their desires from those who do not. Think of it like this. When you move to a new home, you don't wake up each morning wondering where you are. You naturally assume your new surroundings. This is how you must be with your faith that God will solve your problem. It should become your new normal, your new home state. But what if you falter? What if you find yourself slipping back into worry and doubt? Do not despair. Simply acknowledge it and return to your state of faith and surrender. Remember, you are breaking lifelong habits of thought and feeling. It takes practice. Be patient with yourself, but be persistent. Now let us address the concept of everyone is you pushed out. This principle states that everyone in your world is a reflection of your consciousness. The way people treat you, the opportunities that come your way, even the seemingly random events in your life, all are reflections of your state of being. This understanding brings with it a great responsibility. It means that if you want to experience a world where your problems are solved, you must first embody that state within yourself. As you trust that God will solve your problems, you will naturally see others differently, and they will respond differently to you. During this process of trusting God to solve your problems, be aware of how you perceive others. Are your perceptions aligned with the reality of your problems being solved? If not, consciously choose to see others in a way that supports your faith. See them as helpful, supportive, playing their perfect part in the unfolding of solution. Remember, you are not manipulating others. You are simply aligning your perception with your desired reality, and others will naturally conform to this new perception. Let us now delve into the concept of the law of assumption. This law states that if you assume a state and persist in it, it must become your reality. When you assume the state of your problem being solved, when you live from the consciousness of God will solve it, you are setting in motion the forces that will bring this assumption into your physical reality. This is not about forcing or manipulating external circumstances. It's about aligning yourself with the reality where your problem is already solved. When you truly assume this state, you're not trying to make something happen. You're experiencing the state of it already being done. Imagine you have a friend who lives in another city. When you think of this friend, you don't visualize them or affirm their existence. You simply know they exist. This is the kind of knowing you must have about the solution to your problem. It should be as real and as natural to you as the existence of your distant friend. This state of knowing, of living from the end, is what truly activates the law of assumption. It aligns your entire being, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, with the reality of your problem being solved. And in this alignment, miracles happen. Now, let us address the role of emotion in this process. Emotion is crucial. It is the fuel that gives life to your assumption. When you assume the state of your problem being solved, you must feel the reality of it. You must experience the relief, the joy, the gratitude of the solution. But here's a key point. These emotions should not be intense or forced. They should be natural, calm, the kind of quiet joy you feel when you think of something you already possess. Remember, you are not trying to convince yourself of something. You are simply acknowledging what is already true in your consciousness. Let us now explore the concept of the Sabbath. The Sabbath in this context is not about a particular day of the week, but about a state of mind. It is a state of complete rest from all effort, a state of knowing that your work is done. In the process of allowing God to solve your problem, the Sabbath state is crucial. It is the state of total acceptance of the solution as an accomplished fact. In this state, you no longer feel the need to make the solution happen because you know it is already done. Practice entering the Sabbath state. After you've done your imaginative work, after you've assumed the feeling of your problem being solved, consciously enter a state of rest. Release all anxiety, all need to make it happen. Know that God is at work, and your only task now is to rest in the certainty of the solution. Now let us address the concept of divine timing. Often, when we're facing a problem, we want an immediate solution. We want God to solve it right now. But remember, in the realm of pure consciousness, there is no time. Your problem is already solved the moment you assume the state of the solution with conviction. The time it takes for the solution to appear in your physical reality is determined by divine timing. This is not about some external force making you wait. It's about the perfect holding of events that will bring about your solution in the most harmonious way. Trust in this divine timing. Know that the solution is already yours in consciousness, and it will manifest in your physical reality at the perfect moment. Your job is not to worry about when or how, but to maintain your faith and live from the end. Let us now explore the concept of your divine nature. When I say God will solve it, I am not referring to an external deity. I am referring to the God within you, the divine creative power that is your very essence. You are not a mere human being having a spiritual experience. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. You are God individualized, the infinite creative power of the universe expressing itself as you. When you truly understand this, you realize that there is no problem too big for you to handle. There is no challenge that God cannot solve because you are that God. The power that created the universe resides within you, and it is fully capable of solving whatever problem you are facing. Now let us address the concept of resistance. When you're facing a problem, it's natural to feel resistance. You want to push against the problem, to fight it, to overcome it. But this resistance often keeps the problem in place. Remember, what you resist persists. When you resist a problem, You are giving it your energy and attention. You are affirming its reality in your consciousness. Instead of resisting your problem, practice acceptance. This doesn't mean you like the problem or want it to continue. It means you accept that in this moment, this is what is. Then from this place of acceptance, you can more easily shift into the consciousness of the solution. Let us now explore the concept of your inner conversations. Your inner conversations, the thoughts you think and the words you speak to yourself, are shaping your reality. When you're constantly thinking and talking about your problem, you're reinforcing its existence in your experience. Start paying attention to your inner conversations. Are they aligned with the state of your problem being solved? Or are they keeping you stuck in the consciousness of the problem? Practice having inner conversations that align with the solution. Speak to yourself as if your problem is already solved. Have imaginary conversations with others where you discuss the wonderful resolution of your situation. These inner conversations are powerful creative forces that shape your reality. Now, let us address the concept of your self-concept. Your self-concept, the way you see yourself, plays a crucial role in allowing God to solve your problems. If you see yourself as someone who is always struggling, always facing problems, that's the reality you'll create. But if you see yourself as someone who is divinely guided and supported, someone for whom solutions come easily, that's the reality you'll experience. Work on upgrading your self-concept. See yourself as someone who naturally attracts divine solutions to any challenge. Remember, you are not changing who you are. You are simply aligning with your true divine nature, recognizing the God within you that is fully capable of solving any problem. Let us now explore the concept of forgiveness. Forgiveness is a powerful tool in allowing God to solve your problems. Often our problems are tied to resentments, grudges, or unforgiveness towards ourselves or others. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning hurtful behavior. It means releasing the emotional charge of past events so they no longer control you. As you forgive yourself and others, you clear the path for divine solutions to flow into your life. Practice forgiveness daily. Forgive yourself for past mistakes. Forgive others for perceived wrongs. As you do this, you'll find that solutions to your problems come more easily and naturally. Now let us delve deeper into the concept of living in the end. When you say God will solve it, you are not hoping for a future event. You are acknowledging a present fact. In the realm of imagination, where all creation takes place, your problem is already solved. Living in the end means experiencing your desire as a present fact, not a future possibility. It's about feeling the relief, the joy, the gratitude of your problem being solved right now in this moment. This state of consciousness collapses time and brings your desire into the present moment, making its manifestation inevitable. Remember, in the realm of imagination, there is no time. Your desire is fulfilled the moment you assume the feeling of its fulfillment with conviction. The time it takes for this to appear in your physical reality is determined by your faith and your persistence in the assumed state. Let us now address the concept of the law of reversed effort. This law states that the harder you try to achieve something, the more you push it away. This is why so many people struggle to solve their problems. They are trying too hard, and in their effort, they are actually affirming the presence of the problem. Instead of striving and struggling, relax into the knowing that God will solve it. Release all effort. You are not trying to solve the problem. You are simply acknowledging the solution that is already yours in consciousness. This state of effortless acceptance is far more powerful than any amount of trying or struggling. Now, let us explore the concept of the bridge of incidents. When you assume the state of your problem being solved, a series of events is set in motion to bring about the manifestation of your desire. This series of events is called the bridge of incidents. The key here is to trust the bridge. You don't need to know how God will solve your problem. Your job is simply to maintain your assumption and allow the bridge to unfold naturally. Each event, each encounter, each seeming coincidence is a part of this bridge, leading you to the full manifestation of your solved problem. Let us address the concept of dimensional shifting. This is the idea that for every possible reality, there is a version of you already experiencing it. Your task in allowing God to solve your problem is not to create something new, but to shift your consciousness to align with the version of you for whom the problem is already solved. Practice thinking from the perspective of the you who has already experienced the solution. How would that version of you think? How would they feel? What decisions would they make? Align yourself with this version of you, and you will naturally shift into the reality where your problem is solved. Now, let us delve into the power of your self-talk. Your self-talk is not just idle chatter in your mind. It's a declaration to the universe. The way you speak to yourself about your problems and their solutions is shaping your reality. Start paying attention to your self-talk. Are you constantly affirming the presence of your problem? Or are you speaking as if the solution is already yours? Choose your words consciously. Speak as if God has already solved your problem. Use phrases like, I am so grateful that this situation has been resolved, instead of, I hope this problem will be solved. Let us explore the concept of non-resistance once more. Non-resistance doesn't mean being passive or accepting undesirable circumstances. It means not giving your problem any more power through your resistance to it. When you resist a problem, when you fight against it, you are actually energizing it. You are giving it your attention and your emotional energy. Instead, practice non-resistance. Acknowledge the problem without judgment, then shift your attention to the state of the solution. Now let us address the concept of your point of power. Your point of power is always in the present moment. It's not in the past where the problem might have originated. It's not in the future where you hope the solution will come. It's right here, right now. In this present moment, you have the power to choose your state of consciousness. You have the power to align yourself with the reality where God has already solved your problem. Use this point of power wisely. Choose thoughts, feelings, and actions that align with the solution, not the problem. Let us delve into the concept of your I am. Your I am is your true self, the God within you. It is the creative power through which all things are possible. When you say I am, you are invoking this creative power. Be very careful with what you attach to your I am. I am struggling with this problem creates a very different reality than I am grateful for the divine solution to this situation. Choose your I am statements wisely, for light are powerful creative forces. Now let us explore the concept of your imagination once more. Your imagination is not mere fantasy or daydreaming. It is God in action within you. It is the creative power through which all things are made. When you use your imagination to experience the solution to your problem, you are literally reshaping the substance of the universe. You are impressing upon your subconscious mind the reality of the solution, and your subconscious mind must then work to bring this impressed image into your physical experience. Let us address the concept of detachment once again. Detachment doesn't mean not caring about the solution to your problem. It means releasing your anxious attachment to how or when it will manifest. When you're anxiously attached to the outcome, you are actually affirming the presence of the problem. You are saying, I need this solution because I have this problem. This state of consciousness keeps the problem alive in your experience. True detachment comes from the deep, knowing that God has already solved your problem in consciousness, and therefore it must manifest in your physical reality. It's a state of calm certainty of knowing the law is at work, even when you can't see the evidence yet. Now, let us explore the concept of your state of consciousness. Your state of consciousness is the sum total of your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs in any given moment. It is the lens through which you perceive and interact with reality. When you say God will solve it, you are choosing to occupy a state of consciousness where the solution is already a fact. This state of consciousness then shapes your perception and your experience of reality. Remember, you are not trying to change the outer world. You are changing your state of consciousness. And as you do, the outer world must conform to match this new inner state. Let's address the concept of your creative power once more. You are not a powerless being at the mercy of external circumstances. You are a creative being, made in the image and likeness of God. The power that created the universe resides within you. When you say God will solve it, you are acknowledging this creative power within you. You are aligning yourself with the infinite intelligence that orchestrates the cosmos. Trust in this power. Have faith in your ability to create the reality you desire. Now, let us explore the concept of your divine timing once again. Divine timing is not about some external force making you wait for your solution. It's about the perfect unfolding of events that will bring about your solution in the most harmonious way. Trust in this divine timing. Know that the solution is already yours in consciousness, and it will manifest in your physical reality at the perfect moment. Your job is not to worry about when or how, but to maintain your faith and live from the end. Let us address the concept of your inner knowing. Beyond your thoughts, beyond your emotions, there is a deep inner knowing within you. This is the voice of God, the infinite intelligence that knows exactly how to solve your problem. Learn to listen to this inner knowing. It often speaks in subtle ways, a quiet nudge, a sudden inspiration, a feeling of peace. As you trust this inner knowing, you'll find yourself naturally guided towards the solution to your problem. Now, let us explore the concept of your divine nature once more. You are not separate from God. You are an individualized expression of God. The power that created the universe is not outside of you, it is you. When you truly understand this, you realize that there is no problem too big for you to handle. There is no challenge that God cannot solve, because you are that God. The power that created the universe resides within you, and it is fully capable of solving whatever problem you are facing. In conclusion, remember that God will solve it is not a passive statement of hope. It is a powerful declaration of your alignment with the creative forces of the universe. It is an acknowledgement of your true divine nature and your inherent ability to create the reality you desire. Trust in this truth. Have faith in the God within you. Live from the state of your problem being solved, and watch as your outer world reshapes itself to match your inner state. For truly with God, all things are possible. These parallel selves, these other I ams of you, are constantly reaching out, trying to communicate with you, to guide you towards your highest good, your greatest potential. They are you after all, and they want nothing more than to see you succeed, to see you manifest your deepest desires and live your most fulfilled life. But how, you might ask, can these parallel versions of you communicate across the boundaries of reality? How can they send you messages, guideposts, and signs to help you on your journey? The answer, my friends, lies in the very fabric of your daily existence, in the seemingly mundane occurrences that you might otherwise overlook. Let us delve deeper into these signs, these whispers from your parallel selves. The first sign you might notice is a sudden and inexplicable feeling of déjà vu. You find yourself in a situation that feels eerily familiar, as if you've lived it before. This, my dear listeners, is not merely a trick of the mind or a glitch in your memory. It is a moment when the veil between realities thins, and you are glimpsing a parallel version of yourself who has indeed experienced this very moment. In these instances of déjà vu, pause and reflect. What is this parallel self trying to tell you? Perhaps they are urging you to pay closer attention to this moment, to the people around you, or to the decisions you are about to make. They have lived this experience and know its significance. Trust in this feeling, for it is a sign that you are on the right path, that you are aligning with the infinite possibilities of your being. The second sign that your parallel self is reaching out to you comes in the form of synchronicities. These are those magical moments when the universe seems to align perfectly, when coincidences become too meaningful to ignore. You think of an old friend and suddenly they call you after years of silence. You need a specific piece of information and it appears before you in a book that falls open to the exact page you need. These synchronicities are not mere chance, my friends. They are the result of your parallel selves working in concert with the universe to guide you towards your desires. They are showing you that the world is far more interconnected than you might believe, that your thoughts and intentions have power beyond the confines of your immediate reality. When you experience these synchronicities, acknowledge them with gratitude. Understand that they are signposts on your journey, placed there by versions of you who have already walked this path. They are telling you to keep going, to trust in the process, to have faith in the unfolding of your desires. The third sign from your parallel self manifests in your dreams. Have you ever had a dream so vivid, so real, that upon waking you felt as if you had truly lived it? These are not mere fantasies conjured by your sleeping mind. They are glimpses into the lives of your parallel selves, windows into the realities they inhabit. In these dreams, pay close attention to the details, to the emotions you feel, to the choices you make. Your parallel self is showing you possibilities, alternatives, potential futures. They are giving you the gift of experience without the need to physically live it. Use these dreams as a guide, as inspiration for the life you wish to create in your current reality. Perhaps in your dream you see yourself confidently speaking before a large audience, sharing your wisdom and inspiring others. This is not just a fantasy, but a reality that one of your parallel selves is living. They are showing you your own potential, urging you to step into your power and share your voice with the world. The fourth sign comes in the form of sudden, unexplained emotions or mood shifts. You might find yourself overwhelmed with joy for no apparent reason, or struck by a wave of melancholy that seems to come from nowhere. These emotional surges are not random or meaningless. They are echoes of the experiences of your parallel selves rippling across the boundaries of reality to touch your consciousness. When you feel these sudden emotions, do not dismiss them or try to suppress them. Instead, sit with them, explore them. Ask yourself, what is this feeling trying to tell me? What experience from a parallel reality am I tapping into? These emotions are messages carrying wisdom and insights from other versions of you. If you feel a sudden surge of confidence, know that a parallel self has just achieved a great victory and is sharing the triumph with you. If you feel an inexplicable sense of loss, perhaps a parallel self is going through a challenging time and is seeking your strength and resilience. In acknowledging and embracing these emotions, you create a bridge between realities, allowing for a flow of energy and support in both directions. The fifth sign that your parallel self is communicating with you is through sudden flashes of inspiration or insight. These are those aha moments when a brilliant idea seems to come out of nowhere, or when you suddenly understand something that had previously eluded you. These bursts of clarity are gifts from your parallel selves sharing their knowledge and experiences with you. In these moments of inspiration, act quickly. Write down your ideas, make plans to implement them, share them with others. Your parallel self is offering you a shortcut, a way to bypass years of trial and error. They have already walked the path and are showing you the most direct route to your desires. Remember, my dear friends, that these flashes of inspiration are not random. They are carefully chosen messages, selected by your parallel selves for their relevance to your current situation and your deepest desires. Trust in them, for they are guiding you towards your highest good. The sixth sign from your parallel self comes through your physical sensations. You might experience unexplained chills, a sudden warmth spreading through your body, or a tingling sensation in your hands or the crown of your head. These physical manifestations are your body's way of interpreting the energy flowing from your parallel selves. When you feel these sensations, take a moment to center yourself and tune in. What is your body trying to tell you? Perhaps the chills are a sign that you're on the right track, that you're aligning with your highest path. The warmth might be a message of love and support from a parallel self who has overcome a challenge you're currently facing. These physical signs are reminders of the deep connection between your body, mind, and spirit, and the vast network of parallel selves that exist beyond your current perception. They are calls to pay attention, to be present in your body, and to trust in the wisdom it holds. The seventh sign manifests in the form of recurring numbers or symbols. You might find yourself constantly seeing a particular number sequence, 1111 on the clock, 333 on a license plate, 555 in a phone number. Or perhaps a certain symbol keeps appearing in your life, a feather, a particular animal, or a specific shape. These recurring numbers and symbols are not mere coincidences. They are messages encoded by your parallel selves, using the universal language of symbolism to communicate with you. Each number, each symbol carries a specific vibration and meaning. Your parallel selves are using just to send you guidance, encouragement, and reminders of your infinite potential. When you notice these recurring patterns, take a moment to reflect on their meaning. What was on your mind when you saw them? What emotions were you feeling? The context in which these signs appear is often as important as the signs themselves. Your parallel selves are trying to draw your attention to something specific in your life, urging you to look deeper, to see beyond the surface. The eighth sign comes through the people you encounter in your daily life. Have you ever met someone who seemed oddly familiar, even though you're sure you've never met them before? Or perhaps you've had a conversation with a stranger that left you feeling profoundly changed. These encounters are orchestrated by your parallel selves, using the interconnected web of human relationships to bring you exactly what you need. These people are messengers, carrying wisdom and insights from your parallel selves. They might offer you advice that resonates deeply, share a story that inspires you, or simply be a presence that reminds you of your own inner strength. Pay attention to these encounters, for they are far from random. Your parallel selves understand the power of human connection, of the exchanging of energies between individuals. They are using this power to guide you, to offer you perspectives and opportunities that you might not have access to in your current reality. Be open to these encounters, engage fully with these messengers, for they are playing a crucial role in your journey of self-realization. The ninth sign from your parallel self is a sudden shift in your perceptions or beliefs. You might find yourself questioning long-held assumptions, seeing familiar situations in a completely new light, or feeling drawn to ideas and concepts that you previously dismissed. These shifts are not mere changes of mind, but rather alignments with the expanded consciousness of your parallel selves. Remember, my dear listeners, that your parallel selves have lived different lives, made different choices, and gained different perspectives. When they reach out to you, they bring with them the wisdom of their experiences. They are offering you the opportunity to expand your own consciousness, to see beyond the limitations of your current reality. Embrace these shifts in perception. Allow yourself to question, to explore, to see the world through new eyes. Your parallel selves are showing you that reality is far more flexible, far more malleable than you might have believed. They are inviting you to step into a broader understanding of yourself and the universe. The 10th and final sign that your parallel self is sending you a message comes through your own inner voice, your intuition. This is that quiet whisper within you that knows, that understands, that guides you towards your highest good. Your intuition is the direct line of communication between you and your parallel selves, the channel through which their wisdom flows most clearly. When you feel a strong gut feeling, an inexplicable knowing, or a persistent inner urging, pay attention. This is not just your own mind speaking, but the collective wisdom of all your parallel selves distilled into a single, powerful message. Your intuition is your most direct connection to the infinite possibilities of your being. Trust in this inner voice, my friends. Cultivate it, strengthen it. Learn to distinguish it from the chatter of your everyday thoughts. Your parallel selves are constantly sending you guidance through this channel, offering you the benefit of their collective experiences and insights. Now, my dear listeners, as we delve deeper into this concept of communication from our parallel selves, let us consider how we can more actively engage with these messages, how we can strengthen the connection between our current self and our infinite parallel selves. The first step in this process is awareness. Begin to cultivate a state of heightened awareness in your daily life. Pay attention to the details around you, to the subtle shifts in your emotions, to the seemingly random thoughts that flit through your mind. Each of these could be a message from a parallel self, a piece of the cosmic puzzle that is your existence. As you move through your day, hold the intention of being open to these messages. Set the expectation that your parallel selves will communicate with you, and watch as the signs begin to multiply. Remember, what you focus on expands. By directing your attention towards these signs, you are effectively opening more channels of communication between realities. The next step is interpretation. As you become more aware of the signs around you, begin to develop your own personal system of meaning. Perhaps certain numbers hold special significance for you, or specific animals carry particular messages. Trust in your own intuition to guide you in understanding these signs. Remember, my friends, that the language of the universe, the language of your parallel selves, is deeply personal. While there may be universal symbols and meanings, the most powerful interpretations will come from your own inner knowing. Trust in your ability to understand these messages, for you are, after all, communicating with yourself. As you interpret these signs, look for patterns and connections. Your parallel selves are not sending random, disconnected messages, but rather a coherent stream of guidance and wisdom. One sign may build upon another, creating a more complete picture of the path you are meant to follow. The third step in engaging with your parallel selves is action. It is not enough to simply receive and interpret their messages. You must act upon them, integrate them into your life, allow them to guide your choices and behaviors. This is how you honor the connection with your parallel selves, how you show your readiness to receive more guidance. When you receive a sign or message, ask yourself, how can I apply this in my life? What action can I take based on this guidance? Perhaps a recurring number sequence is urging you to be more patient, or a dream is encouraging you to pursue a long-forgotten passion. Whatever the message, find a way to embody it in your daily life. As you take action based on these messages, you will find that the communication becomes clearer, more frequent, more profound. You are showing your parallel selves that you are ready and willing to receive their guidance, that you are an active participant in this cosmic dance of self-realization. The fourth step in this process is gratitude. Express thankfulness for each sign, each message, each moment of connection with your parallel selves. Gratitude is a powerful force that opens you up to receive more abundance, more guidance, more love from the universe, and from all aspects of yourself. When you notice a sign from your parallel self, pause for a moment and silently say thank you. Acknowledge the effort it takes to send these messages across the boundaries of reality. Appreciate the love and support that your parallel selves are constantly offering you. This attitude of gratitude will not only strengthen your connection with your parallel selves, but will also shift your overall vibration to one of positivity and receptivity. You will find yourself noticing more signs, receiving clearer messages, and feeling a deeper sense of connection with all aspects of yourself. The fifth step is to share your experiences with others. As you become more attuned to the messages from your parallel selves, share your insights and experiences with those around you. This serves multiple purposes. First, it helps to reinforce your own beliefs and experiences. By articulating them to others, you are affirming their reality for yourself. Secondly, sharing your experiences can help to awaken others to the possibility of communication with their own parallel selves. You become a messenger yourself, a bridge between realities not just for yourself, but for others as well. In doing so, you contribute to the expansion of collective consciousness, helping to create a world more open to the infinite possibilities of existence. Lastly, by sharing your experiences, you open yourself up to learning from others. You may find that others have had similar experiences or have different interpretations of signs that you've received. This exchange of ideas and experiences can further enrich your understanding and deepen your connection with your parallel selves. The sixth step in this process is to actively seek communication with your parallel selves. While many of the signs we've discussed may seem to come unbidden, you can also take a more proactive approach in establishing this connection. One powerful way to do this is through meditation. Set aside time each day to sit in quiet contemplation. As you settle into a state of calm awareness, set the intention to connect with your parallel selves. Visualize yourself surrounded by infinite versions of you, each living out a different possibility of your life. Feel the energy that connects all these selves, the common thread of consciousness that runs through each version of you. As you hold this visualization, open yourself to receiving messages from these parallel selves. You might receive these as thoughts, images, feelings, or sensations. Trust whatever comes through, no matter how subtle or seemingly insignificant. With practice, this form of active communication will become stronger and clearer. The seventh step is to journal your experiences. Keep a record of the signs you receive, the messages you interpret, and the actions you take based on this guidance. This journal serves multiple purposes. It helps you to recognize patterns over time, to see the thread of guidance that your parallel selves are weaving through your life. Additionally, the act of writing itself can be a form of communication with your parallel selves. As you put pen to paper or fingers to keyboard, allow yourself to write freely, without censorship or judgment. You may find that insights and messages flow through you onto the page. Your hand becoming a conduit for the wisdom of your parallel selves. Reviewing your journal regularly can also help to strengthen your faith in this process. As you look back over your entries, you'll likely see how the guidance you've received has positively influenced your life. How the actions you've taken based on these messages have led you towards your desires and goals. The eighth step in engaging with your parallel selves is to practice lucid dreaming. As we discussed earlier, dreams are a powerful way for your parallel selves to communicate with you. By developing the ability to become conscious within your dreams, you can more actively engage with these messages and even potentially communicate directly with your parallel selves. There are various techniques you can use to induce lucid dreams, such as reality checks throughout the day, setting strong intentions before sleep, and keeping a dream journal. As you become more proficient at lucid dreaming, set the intention to meet and communicate with your parallel selves within the dreamscape. In these lucid dream encounters, you may receive direct guidance, experience alternative realities, or gain insights into your own infinite potential. The dream world is a place where the boundaries between realities are more fluid, making it an ideal environment for this type of communication. The ninth step is to pay attention to your energy levels and physical sensations throughout the day. Your parallel selves often communicate through your body, sending you messages in the form of energy surges, tingling sensations, or sudden changes in your physical state. Start to map these physical sensations to different types of messages or guidance. Perhaps a tingling in your hands indicates that you're on the right path, or a warmth in your heart chakra signifies a message of love and support from a parallel self. By becoming more attuned to these physical signs, you create another channel of communication with your parallel selves. The 10th and final step in this process is to live as if you are in constant communication with your parallel selves. Embody the wisdom they share with you. Make choices as if you have access to infinite knowledge and experience, because in truth you do. Your parallel selves are not separate from you, they are you, experiencing different aspects of your infinite potential. By living in alignment with their guidance, you are stepping into the fullness of who you truly are. As you practice these steps, you will find that the boundaries between you and your parallel selves begin to blur. You'll start to feel a sense of expansion, of limitless possibility. The challenges in your life will begin to seem less daunting, for you'll know that there are versions of you who have already overcome them, who are sending you their strength and wisdom. Remember, my dear friends, that this communication with your parallel selves is not about escaping your current reality or wishing for a different life. It is about enriching your present experience, about tapping into the vast reservoir of wisdom and potential that exists within you. It is about recognizing that you are far more than this single expression of self, that you are in fact infinite. As you open yourself to these messages from your parallel selves, you may find that your perception of time begins to shift. Past, present, and future may start to feel less linear, more interconnected. This is because your parallel selves exist across all possibilities, all time lengths. In communicating with them, you are tapping into the eternal now, the place where all possibilities exist simultaneously. Embrace this expanded perception of reality. Allow it to free you from limiting beliefs about what is possible in your life. Your parallel selves are showing you that anything you can imagine, anything you can dream, is not only possible, but is already happening in some version of reality. Your task is simply to align with that version, to bring that possibility into your current experience. As we conclude this exploration of the signs that your parallel self is trying to send you a message, I urge you to remain open, vigilant, and receptive. The universe and all versions of you within it is constantly communicating with you, guiding you towards your highest expression of self. Trust in this process, trust in yourself, trust in the infinite wisdom that is your birthright. Go forth, my friends, with the knowledge that you are never alone, that you are supported by countless versions of yourself across infinite realities. Listen for their whispers, watch for their signs, feel their presence in every moment. And as you do, know that you are awakening to the true magnitude of your being, to the limitless potential that is you.